So I have another get ready with me video where we are going to do my makeup and we're going to talk about spirituality, and it's going to be really fun. Since I did a video yesterday on La Madama, I'm wanting to do today's video on the Gitanas and Gitanos, the gypsy spirit guides within Espiritismo. I do have a lot of gypsy content because my dad's lineage is part Romani. My dad was Greek Romani, so gypsies that migrated eventually into Greece and settled there. So this is a topic that I know very well because my ancestors are always around me, they're always helping me, they're always guiding me. And I've noticed that the more gypsy content that I make, the more clients that I attract that have them as spirit guides or sometimes ancestors as well. I attract my brothers and my sisters, right? So it's just very fun to me. I have to give my little disclaimer that I always give when I make content about the Gitanas and Gitanos. I am Romani. I am part Romani on my dad's side, as I said, and I know that the G word, gypsy, is a slur. However, within Espiritismo, we do use the word Gitano and Gitana still in 2025, and gypsy is the English translation to that, okay? That's what the commission is called within Espiritismo, is the Gitanos and Gitanas. So if I use the G word, it's not me being disrespectful to my culture, and it's what we've been called for a long time. And the proper term is Romani spirit guides. And my nose is tingling, they're here. Okay. But yes, I know it's a bad word. I don't like that we still use it in 2025, but hey, until Espiritismo comes up with something else, I'm going to respect tradition. Okay? So, like I said, we're doing an eyeshadow look. I might do like a brown eyeshadow and a red lip or something. You guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you know when my nose starts tickling, there's a spirit in here, and my whole face is tingling right now. They're here. I have had so much spiritual activity in my house lately, in a good way, They're not messing anything up, they're not bothering anybody. They've just been letting me know that they're here. So, first we're going to cover up these dark circles. Anytime that I do an eyeshadow look, I do try to, where's my brush? I do try to cover up my eyes first as a base, and then I do my eyeshadow, and then I do my face makeup, because especially if you're doing like a dark eyeshadow look, you're going to have fallout. You're going to have eyeshadow that goes on your face or outside the lines, so I always keep a makeup wipe on hand so that I can wipe away the excess, and then I do my face makeup. So I might look like a skeleton. I might look like Mama Brigitte a little bit. I'll have super dark eyes and a pale face, but we're going to work through it, okay? But this is just the LA Colors Concealer in Light. Let's see. Okay, so like I said, the Gitanos and Gitanas are Romani spirit guides. Romani is an ethnicity, also known as gypsies. They are not all from Romania. Originally, about 1,000 or so years ago, there were some migrants from India, I believe North India, but I could be wrong. I say migrants, but in reality they were a group of people in India that got forced out, and they moved into Europe. And then they settled all over Europe, and they are now known as the Romani people. So originally, the Romani people come from India. That's hence the dark skin, and the dark hair, and the darker features. Clearly, my lineage has mixed a little bit. Like I said, I am not full Romani, but my dad's side has a good bit of Romani blood. I'm proud to be Romani. It's a very, very unique, very special culture. I love my people more than anything in the world. And not a lot of people know or understand that they came from India. So, there is a bit of Hindu influence within Romani spirituality sometimes, depending on the path that the Romani person follows. Or in this case, if they're a spirit guide, whatever path they followed in life. They could be Muslim, they could have been Orthodox, okay? My dad's side is Greek Orthodox, so my gypsy, my main one, is Greek Orthodox. She has her witchy sides, she has her brujeria, her magic, but in life, she was an Orthodox woman, like most of my dad's side, right? There's even Jewish gypsies because of the different religions throughout Europe. But what I was saying is there is still, within some Romani spirituality, depending on what they practice and their belief system, there is a bit of Hindu influence because of India. It's very rare, but for example, our patron saint is Santa Siren la Kali, and she has a lot of characteristics of Kali Ma. And her name is spelled the same way, K-A-L-I, but she's more of a saint. She's believed to be a manifestation of Kali, if you look deeper into the theology, but that's kind of kept secret because of the taboos and stuff. I'm taking some powder. I'm just going to put it right here as a base for my eyeshadow. Santa Siren la Kali has a lot of healing energy, and you'll see a lot of Romani people work with her, especially in Brazil. But anyway, that's a little bit of background about the ethnicity and the migration and stuff and where we came from originally. The Romani people were enslaved in Europe. Pretty much as soon as they got to Europe, they were dominated and conquered and enslaved. Chattel slavery, to be exact. And especially in Romania, I believe in Romania specifically, the Romani slavery did not end until the 1830s or 1850s. I can't remember which one, but it's somewhere in there in the earlier 1800s. It didn't end until then. So we haven't been free for that long compared to how long we were enslaved. A lot of gypsies lived kind of hard lives, but their faith is what kept them strong. Sorry, I'm trying to find my eyeshadow brush, you guys. I haven't done my eyeshadow in so long. Usually I just do shimmer. So I'm like fidgeting. Okay. There we go. I'll use this one. What else? No, we haven't been free for that long. Supreme Seductress. I got this from Amazon. I'm going to take the shade Date Night, which is like this one right here. This like pale brown. Just to give my eyes a little bit more base. What else can I say? So your gypsy, if you have one, not everyone has a gitano or gitana, okay? But they could be from a variety of different countries. I've seen, or met rather, when I do these spiritual court readings, I've met gypsies from Italy, from Greece, like me, from Brazil, from Argentina, because of the migration, Spain, of course, but there's two different types of gypsies. So there's the more Romani gypsy, or they're all Romani, but the Spanish gypsy is a little bit more different. They're the ones that like the flamenco music and the, nice ruffly dresses and stuff. It's just a kind of like a subculture of Romani. And then you have the more Mediterranean ones. A lot of them even moved into the Middle East at some point, Lebanon. I mean, when there was slavery and stuff, you have to remember people were trying to flee. People were trying to get out, or they were pushed out, rather. So they kind of went everywhere. So your gypsy truly could be from many different countries, but most of the time it's from somewhere in Europe. Bosnia, Hungary, Germany, Czech Republic. I've met a gypsy from there before. Romania, of course. Poland. And when I do your reading, when I'm able to see your gitana or gitano, if you have them, I can usually pinpoint where they come from and their name, or at least what they would like you to call them. it might not be their birth name. Okay, now I'm going to go in here with espionage, this color right here. It's like medium brown color. And the reason that that might be is sometimes they want to disconnect from their name because they had a lot of trauma. But one thing I will say, regardless of what, if they give you a name, they might not always. Sometimes they just want to be called Gitano and Gitana. You keep that name to yourself, my love. That is nobody's business but yours, and of course mine or the reader that you're going to, because we have to ask them, right? Once you figure out where your Gitano or Gitana is from, you can start researching. Research different folk music that comes from that place. Like for me, whenever I want to get in touch with my ancestors, I play Greek belly dancing music, which is called tizateli. I play Greek folk music. There is even a few artists that do perform Greek Romani music, but I know specifically what they like. And it helps me to connect with them because they love it. In Italy, there's a folk music called, I believe it's Tarantella, Tarantella. There is a chainsaw in the background, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's been getting on my nerves. They started at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good God. Flamenco music, of course, if they're from Spain, because flamenco is heavily influenced by the Romani people. A lot of music is klezmer, even though it's technically a Jewish type of music. There's a lot of Romani influence as well. Balkan brass, if they're from any of the Balkan countries. Like, music is super important to them, and so is dancing, because a lot of them were not allowed to dance. A lot of them, because you have to remember, they were kind of like enslaved, right? Usually by Christian people, sometimes Muslims, but usually Christian. And there also were Muslim slave owners that didn't allow dancing either. So, dancing is how they help us to release trauma. It's how they help us to move through life and remove blockages, especially from the body. A lot of your gypsies, especially the women, are very into herbal remedies and like somatic healing. Not just spiritual healing, but actually healing the physical vessel. Typically, the men, the jobs that they would have were things like masonry, building bricks, laying bricks, or carpentry, or some type of construction, or farming. The women, a lot of them were not allowed to work. But unfortunately, because of war, or enslavement, or other reasons for separation, a lot of Romani women were single mothers. So they didn't have a lot of choices when it came to their jobs, but they had to have one. A lot of them did have to turn to SW to survive. So if your gypsy tells that to you about herself, you need to be mindful of that and respect that. Don't look down on her. Okay, they did what they had to do to provide for their babies and themselves. Another profession, of course, is the fortune teller. It's a stereotype, but it's not, because that was one of the few jobs that Romani women were allowed to have back in the day. And those, quite honestly, were kind of some of their only options. SW, fortune teller, or maid / nanny. So that does not make her any less special. It doesn't determine her worth. Some of your gitanas will be very open when it comes to sensuality, and others of them will be very, very closed off. It just depends on their religious background. If they're Orthodox, chances are they might not be the most sensual, but like mine is both. So mine is Greek Orthodox, but she's very sensual, and she loves dancing. She loves teaching me about the chakras and stuff, like anything to do with the body. But when she told me that that was her profession, I didn't look down on her. I sat there and I listened to her story and I held space for her, and she helped me to understand why it had to be that way. Okay. Now, and we're getting into some deep stuff here because we are getting into the nitty-gritty of Romani culture and what they've been through and all of that. So I know it might be kind of taboo for me to be talking about the fact that a lot of Romani women were SWs back in the day because they had really no other choice. And they were also SMEX trafficked too. Part of slavery, right? But we have to be real. We have to be real about where they come from and what they've been through, because that's how you get to know your spirit guides. But my point is, do not ever approach her as a hoe. Okay? And also, if you have hoish behavior, don't blame your gypsy. Okay? That's not cool. That's you, baby. Am I saying that they can't influence you at all if they need a little bit more elevation? No. Some of them need education. Some of them need light. All of them need light and prayer. I know I'm going to get some shit for all this. But look, I'm Romani. I can talk about this stuff. Okay? I know my people. I know what we've been through. Okay? Do I want to go darker with this eyeshadow? I think I'm going to go in here with Prospect. Where is it? This one right here. It's kind of like a deep reddish kind of brown. If you're not sure if you have a gypsy or not, you can get a spiritual court reading, either with me or someone else. I need to blend this out, but I'm going to do this eye. Also, because of certain things that the Romani women have been through, some of them are not very trusting of men. So, if you are a male client and you have a gitana, just because you have one doesn't mean that it's not going to take time for her to connect with you and open up to you. Okay? I've had to do a lot of ancestral healing for my people and my lineage and my spiritual court. And obviously myself, right? But at one point in my life, and this is me being very open with you guys and vulnerable, because I told you that I would. At one point in my life, I did go through some SA, twice actually, and I carried it for a long time, especially in my body. And my Gitana, my main one, I attribute my healing to her. I'm not going to tell you guys, well, the main way that she helped me get comfortable in my body again is through dancing. Especially to the Romani music, because like I would, excuse me, I would be dancing and connecting with my ancestors at the same time. So, she really helped pull me out of that dark place, helps me release the shame and the baggage, and all of that. Do we like this? What are we thinking? It takes me, I used to could be able to do a smoky eye in like 10 minutes, but now I'm so OCD about it, you guys. I like to make sure everything's blended and even. Okay. Let's see, offerings. Candles and water, of course. Roses, red roses. Let me see, what else? If they help you with something, you can give them things like wine, or I'm going to go in here with a shimmer. I'm going to go in here with Risque. Sangria is always good. Red wine with fruit in it. rosé, pink champagne. Gypsies, both male and female, have a lot of sweet energy because they're very sweet people. So you can offer them sweet fruits, candy, desserts. Don't give them too much because they love nice things. They love indulgence. And they will ask, and they will ask. So make sure that you give them their standard candles and water and flowers. I give mine flowers every single week. And any offerings outside of that, besides food once a week as well, like a meal once a week, coffee, just reward them when they help you with something. Maybe a gitano helps you get a job. Maybe a gitana really helps you open up your spiritual gifts, you know, and there's proof of them working in your life. Then yeah, you can get them something small like some perfume, some cologne, a new deck of tarot cards. Usually, especially if it's a close spirit guide of yours, they will have a day, they'll call it their birthday. It might not be their actual birthday, but when I do your reading, I'll be able to tell you what day every year you can kind of make like a mini service for them with flowers, with, you know, a few gifts here and there, small ones, sweets, rum, cigars, the whole nine, just to kind of say thank you once a year. Or you can do it on Dia de los Muertos, either one. Okay, I am going to tie my hair back now because I have to do my face makeup. And this is why I wear like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff when I do my makeup, because I always get messy. Okay. Again, this is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. And I'm just taking my stippling brush. Is my eyeshadow even? It's just gonna have to do, honestly. No, it's gonna bother me. I don't edit these videos, you guys. How y'all get them is how y'all get them. So, I'm gonna go in here with pickup line and just blend this out some more. I take my eyeshadow up to my eyebrow, but that's just me. Okay, I think that's a lot better. Foundation. That damn chainsaw is getting on my nerves. And I am looking in my other mirror right now. Yes, I'm wearing a filter. Mind your business as usual. This Superstay stuff is actually pretty good. I like the finish. I can't remember. I want to say it's a demi-matte finish or dewy matte. Something like that. Usually, I stick to dewy foundation. But during the summer, this is the only thing I don't like about wearing wigs. Okay. Yeah, I know the filter fucks up. I really don't care, you guys. I wear filters. I like them. I think they're cute. Plus, it's like a spiritual thing. If you know, you know. So, if it glitches, it glitches. Oh, well. Okay, now I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. And especially when I do a dark eye like this, I like to make sure that my under eye is bright. It just helps it look better. And also, if there's any excess shadow on the bottom, it helps clean it up as well. When I just make my little triangle, I also put it on my chin. a little bit between my eyebrows, tiny bit on my nose. And then I'm also going to use the LA Colors Concealer in Light. This stuff is a little bit thicker, a little bit more coverage. Clearly, I am not part of the clean girl aesthetic. I like my glam. And then what I do is I let this dry down. My nose itches. Okay. Alright, I think that's good. So I'm going to take my brush, the same one I used for my foundation. I'm going to blend this out. Usually I use a beauty blender for this, but I've just been using a brush lately. And I think sometimes when you use a brush, it'll actually stay longer because you're kind of pressing it into your skin, whereas the sponge absorbs a lot of product. So I might start using brushes more often. But then I just make sure everything's blended. And then I'm going to take my powder puff. I don't know why I'm so hoarse, you guys. I'm not sick. Gracias a Dios. Same one as yesterday. e.l.f. This is the Prime and Stay Finishing Powder in Sheer. Goddamn chainsaw. Look, duality, resistance. I thought about not making this video today because of the chainsaw and some other stuff, but I'm like, no, you know what? I'm doing my makeup anyway. Let's talk to the people. Rum, cigar, smoke, candles, water, and flowers. Those are kind of the standard offerings for the gitanas and gitanos. Wine, sweets, fruits. If you find out where they're from and you want to feed your people, you can give them some food from wherever they're from. So like if they're from Italy, you can make them some good Italian food or get it from the restaurant. I don't care. Mine personally like it when I make their food because I'm able to put my energy into it. But whatever works for you. And then I take my Maybelline Fit Me powder. And put a lot of powder. I know it looks crazy, y'all. Bear with me. But I cannot stress this enough. Do not overgive to your spirits. Not just the gypsy spirits, but any of them. Okay? Food once a week. Some people give their people coffee every day. That's fine. You can give, like, I've noticed that the gitanas, the feminine gypsy spirit guides, prefer cream and sugar in their coffee. And the males prefer black coffee. Okay? Super easy. I told y'all this story before, but my guides actually, I was slacking on giving them their coffee, which they love. And they turned on my coffee maker by itself one time. They sure did. They let me know, if you're not going to make our coffee, we'll make it for ourselves. And yes, I got makeup right there. I gotta wipe it out of my wig. Okay. Bronzer to warm up the face again, contouring. And it is summer, so I tend to do a lot of bronzer. And also, if you wear wigs, bronzer really does help blend in the lace. I noticed. Contour my nose just a little. Jawline. Blend everything out. Next for blush, we're gonna go in with our J Cat Beauty. This one is Blushmallow in Sweet and Chic. It says it's a cream blush, but it's not. It's just powder. And I did it heavy on the eyes, so I'm gonna go light-handed with the blush. And then, actually, I'll put a little bit more. Then what I do, I take my powder puff and just blend it out. Now, my favorite part, as I told you guys, is highlighting. This is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in Golden Flower Crown. A little bit on the nose. Under the brow bone, just to give the eyeshadow a little bit of highlight. Cheekbones. And then I do the inner corners of my eyes. Now, if I can find it, there it is. I'm going to go in with my setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Matte Magic spray. So, the Gitanas and Gitanos are going to have different personalities, like, because they're human beings, right? They're spirits of human beings. They're going to have different likes and dislikes, but for the most part, there's a lot of overlap and similarity between the different ones. The males are jokesters. They love to laugh. They love to make jokes. They're very, very funny. They love their cigarettes and cigars and drinking. Especially like if your Gitano is Greek, I forgot what it's called, but there is a certain type of clear Greek liquor that they like that you can get if they're from Greece. A lot of them like that. Let's see. They love to party. They love to come down at misas, and they do help with cleansing and stuff at misas. And consulting and stuff, but they ultimately like to just raise the vibration of the room, of the space. They love to lift our spirit and make us happy and kind of remind us that, like, life is worth living. Things can get hard sometimes, but if anybody knows that life gets hard, it's their money people. And we're still here. We survived through some shit for a long time. I mean, you know, I had to do so much work on my bloodline. It's crazy. But that's what they needed. You know, I know that's my family. I have to help them, because in helping them, I help myself. But they really, really encourage us to just relax and have a good time and enjoy life. Enjoy life when life is good. Don't be so pessimistic all the time. Don't let people bring you down. You know, Gitanos will also help you find work if you need it. A lot of them, they're extremely resourceful. They're extremely, a lot of them do have a traditional mindset, so they have the protector and provider, the protector and provider mindset. So they will always look out for you. They'll always protect you. Same for the women. If you're close with your gitano or gitana and somebody's doing some stuff behind your back, they will let you know. They will tell you in a dream. Or one day when you're sitting at your bovada. They got eyes everywhere, girl. Okay, now I'm going to do my liquid eyeliner, and I'm not going to mess up this time. I just do a little thin line. Did I mess up on the left one? Yeah. Like I said yesterday, let it dry and then wipe it away. We do not set up a separate altar for our spirit guides. They can be on the bovada or beside it or in front of it, but we do not give them their own altar space. Sometimes, a few times a year, I do what I call and this was not taught to me by an elder. This was taught to me by my ancestors and my spirit guides. Okay, a few times a year, especially for my Gitano and Gitana ancestors, I will do a servicio, which is like kind of like a mini altar. Like it's a separate table from the bovada. It's right beside it. But I get a nice piece of fabric, some nice flowers, their drinks of choice, their wine, their liquor, their flowers, their candles, and I just give to them. And I give them lots of prayer and lots of love, food. It's kind of like my own mini Dia de los Muertos celebration a few times a year. It's just something that I like to do, that they taught me. You don't have to do it. Okay? And I would not do it more than a few times a year. Just because you don't want your spirit guides so earthbound, you don't want them over-materialized, because that's not good for you, and it's damn sure not good for them. But every now and then is okay. You know, they like to indulge, they like the nice things in life, and for example, like, it's not, even though flowers are a material thing, it's not bad to give it to them, because they take the energy from the flowers, and they help us. And it helps raise the vibration of your space, of your bovada. Flowers and fruit are always nice. But they'll let you know what they want and what they need. And I am going to do my lashes on camera, y'all. Wish me luck. They're very good at divination, especially the Gitanas, because like I said, for a lot of them, that was their job. That's how they supported themselves and their families, was spiritual work and divination. So when you're doing readings and stuff, if you have a Gitana or Gitano, you can call upon them for help to give you the messages. They'll teach you how to read tarot. Tarot is actually how I discovered I was a medium. Like that I could actually hear spirits. I've always been able to see them, but I haven't always been able to hear them. And tarot is how I figured it out. So tarot is very special to them. It does come from that part of the world originally. Also, some Gitanas and Gitanos do use the baraja española. It just depends on what they like and what they use. There's also little fun things that you can give to them, like, you know, playing dice or playing cards just to have on the altar. Don't give them an entire setup, but give them a few things. Gitanas love perfume. They love incense, especially jasmine-scented things. Jasmine is associated with beauty and love and prosperity. Also, frankincense and myrrh. Sorry, there's noises. I get on my nerves. Frankincense and myrrh, things like that. I also, if you're wanting to connect deeper to that gypsy side of you, I do sell Gitana products on my website at sirensnectar.com. I sell a soap, I sell a bath, and I sell an oil, and pretty soon I will be coming out with a package where you can get all three, and you can kind of really tap into that beautiful, sensual, intuitive, divine feminine energy. Even if you don't have a Gitana, you can still use these products, that's fine. But if you do have one, it'll help really connect you to her. Alright, y'all. Let's get into these lashes. I think these I just got from Amazon, I believe. So what I do is I take them out of the package. Usually I do spray them with rubbing alcohol, but I don't have my spray right here right now. And then because I have kind of small-ish eyes, I take my little, these are just hair scissors, beauty scissors, and I cut a little bit, a tiny bit off the end so that they actually fit me and they're not hanging off my eye. Where's my lash glue? And then I always do my left eye first. I take my Duo eyelash glue. My butt, my ass is starting to hurt from sitting. Duo lash glue is the best. I've tried so many different lash glues, and this one I always go back to. I put it on the lash, and then I let it dry or get tacky for about 30 seconds, okay? And it just helps it stick a lot better. When I have long nails, I do use tweezers. And no, y'all, I didn't make my bed today. If y'all can see that in the background, I did not make my bed, I'm sorry. Literally, this chainsaw started at 8 o'clock and woke me up, pissed me off. And then I decided, well, I have shit to do anyway, so we're gonna do it. And yeah, and I have not had my caffeine. And I kind of did put a lot of lash glue, so I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more than 30 seconds. I didn't have an outline for this video, so I hope it wasn't like too all over the place. But most of the information that I gave you guys, I have talked about before. So if you feel like you're missing anything, just go on my channel and search for Romani or Gitana videos, and you'll find plenty. I have so many videos on them because, like I said, it is my lineage, half of it. So I connect very deeply with them. I know a lot about them. I know what it's like living in their shoes. It's not easy. We have a lot of stuff. But it also comes with its gifts. You know, that's where I get my spirituality from. Some people say that we get our spirituality from only our mothers. I don't believe that, because my dad's side is very spiritual, just in a different way, because I am mixed. So it's two different parts of the world. But both of the things that I follow, or technically I'm in 3 paths, right? I have Palo, which is Afro-Caribbean, Espiritismo, which is Afro-Caribbean, and then I have the Greek Romani folk magic, which I will make more content on eventually. But yeah, I need to put some bottom mascara on. I really hope Instagram does not cut this video off, you guys. Okay. Alright, one down, one to go. The glue is still drying on this one, but it's fine. Okay. lashes make such a difference, you guys. It's crazy. I've been wearing lashes since I was 18, so 10 years. And I love them so much. They really open up your eyes and just elevate a makeup look. Now, while this glue is drying, my right eye, for some reason, it's tricky when it comes to lashes. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way my eye is shaped or something, but it always gives me a hard time. Just like we all have that one eyebrow, right? Yeah. I have so much to do today. Oh my god. Y'all know what song is stuck in my head? You would think it would be gypsy music with me talking about them, but it's not. It's, You're Gonna Go Far, Kid by The Offspring. I don't know why it's so stuck in my head. I don't know. It's probably a sign from Spirit or something. You're always giving me messages. I do like this eyeshadow though. Okay. I told y'all. There we go. Now I'm gonna go in here with, no, I'll wait. I like to let my lashes dry before I go in with bottom mascara. That way they don't stick together. Lip liner. I might do the same one I did yesterday, honestly. I always swatch. That one's fine. I thought about doing a red lip, since we're talking about gypsies and they love the color red, but I'm not that comfortable to do that on camera yet, because I know I'll mess up, and then I'll want to throw the whole video away. I think I need one that's a little bit darker. Again, I know that filter is glitching. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Ooh. This one is Liquid Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit and Send Nudes. Okay. Now we can put bottom mascara on. Alright, you guys. This is the finished look. I hope y'all like it. Again, if you would like to book a spiritual court reading, you can go on my website at sirensnectar.com, or you can contact me on Instagram, okay? I love you. Bye.